It's like we're surrounded.
I know.
That's so cool.
Hey, Alan here, RVAcrossAmerica.net. And wasn't that a cool panorama? That looks back on a trip that Isaac and I took through Zion East. That was on our way to Bryce National Park. That was back in February. And I'm still reflecting back on those journeys. If you go to RVAcrossAmerica.net, you'll be able to find my posts about Zion National Park and about Bryce National Park. And there's more coming. There's still more coming from Southern Utah because it was that cool. And there's just that much more to show. Uh, this post is going to be about something a bit more serious. There's a lawsuit we have to talk about. And I guess you could title it, Gee, I'm shocked when you hear what the nature of the issue is. And we'll get into that in a second. I want to kind of bring you up to speed on me and where I am and what I'm doing and where I'm headed. I have moved on from Emmett and from Burley. I was in Emmett for a week and a half, and I was thinking about a hernia operation in Emmett. But after meeting with the surgeon, I realized that that just wasn't going to be able to work. Couldn't get the dynamics all to come together. So what I've decided to do is I'm working my way now through Idaho Falls and Ryrie. I love the area. It is late May, and Idaho Falls has an Elks Lodge, which if you're a member of the Elks, you can stay there for 20 bucks a night in their parking lot. Not very scenic, but very convenient. And by the way, Idaho Falls is home to one of the best farmers markets in the country. And no, I haven't been to every farmers market in the country, so maybe I'm over speaking, but I've gotta give it a thumbs up, like 10 thumbs up. And I'm staying in Ryrie now, just 20 miles to the east, and planning on hitting that same farmers market again this upcoming weekend. There's just so much there. Anyway, Ryrie is a Juniper Campground. It's a very scenic area. It's a beautiful area. I've been here before. There's Ryrie Lake. I've been in the lake a couple of times kayaking. I'm doing a lot of kayaking right now and biking and swimming. Idaho Falls has an aquatic center. I'm going to be headed through Pinedale. They've got an aquatic center. And then probably through Rock Springs, Wyoming. They've got an aquatic center. And ultimately into Vernal, and they have an aquatic center. But I am set up for the hernia surgery on the 19th of June, and we'll assume that that goes well, and you'll be seeing me shortly after. And of course, I'll have another post out between now and then, maybe two posts out between now and then, because I've still got a lot of stuff to work on from back in February, March, and April. In our travels, and I say our, it's my good buddy Isaac and myself, hiking partner, ski colleague, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, um, here's what's up. There is a lawsuit, and it's a class action lawsuit. You're going to be able to see all the details, including a link to the law firm, from my webpage, which is rvacrossamerica.net/grand design. And that's one string. So it's grand design, but no space in between grand design. Just rvacrossamerica.net/grand design. And forgive me as I look over to my notes, but I'm concerned because this really could be a knockout punch for the RV industry. It really could be a problem for the industry, or more likely, it's just going to be a slow motion train wreck, which is a lot of what the RV industry is these days. Anyway, uh, um, I'll tell you. But there is an issue with alleged by this lawsuit, by this class action lawsuit by the law firm, that there is something called frame flex, which is really frame failure. And there are a number of Grand Design owners who have made YouTube videos. There is a podcaster named Liz Amazing on YouTube who has done an outstanding job covering this. And these folks aren't happy. They're not happy at all. And now this law firm has stepped up and issued a class action lawsuit against Grand Design and their parent company, Winnebago, alleging frame failure, alleging that Winnebago knew about it, Grand Design knew about it, and neither did anything prior to the customer purchase, nor did they do enough after the customer purchase. And I will say there are a lot of customers who are convinced that this is not repairable. This is a structural defect. So time will tell. I'm not an engineer. I'm not going to pass judgment on this, but I have a take on this, which is a little bit different from most people. If you're not aware of the issue, again, you can check out YouTube, do some Google searches for frame flex, frame failure. And by the way, while I mention it, if you're seeing this on my video, please leave a like, a share, a comment. And I've got some directed questions for you at the end of this that you can comment on. I'd love to hear from you. If you're seeing it on my webpage, at the bottom there is a comment section, and any of that kind of activity helps the powers that be, Google, YouTube, or whoever, to say, you know what, there's interest in this video, there's interest in this post. Let's suggest it to other people so they can see it. And again, forgive me as I go over it and refer to my notes. It's coming at a time, the lawsuit is coming at a time when the RV industry is in trouble. It's flat on its back. I just got off the phone with a couple of dealers making offers to dealers for one of my RV concierge clients that I never would have thought about with a straight face, and they're entertaining it with a straight face that they never would have thought about. Campers that retail for over $180,000 and are brand new, and we're offering them 110. They're 2025 leftovers. They're not even 24s or 23s. So that's the kind of condition that the RV market is in. I was, again, as an RV concierge, and by the way, if you're interested in my concierge service, I see people through from soup to nuts. You can get details about it at rvacrossamerica.net/buy sell, BUYSELL. And I've worked with people to buy, and I work with people who want to sell. I had a potential client, reach out to me just yesterday looking to sell a Grand Design fifth wheel, not related at all to the lawsuit. It's a smaller one. The Grand Designs that seem to be affected by this frame failure, at least from my anecdotal observation, are the ones that are 40 feet or longer. They're the heavier ones. So Solitudes, Momentums, maybe some Reflections. The longer influences. So that seems to be the trouble area. The one that I was contacted about that a seller is looking to move, they have it priced at 51 grand, which is JD Power's average retail, which 2-3 years ago, it would have sold in a flash. Well, not so much now. And I had the bearer of bad news that at most I would suggest if they were a client of mine asking in the low 40s, which, for a 2022 unit, which is what theirs is, they may owe more than that now. And that may put them in a position where they're upside down and they can't do it. But I suggested we ask in the low 40s and be ready to accept as low as the mid 30s. And that's realistically how bad the market is. So this lawsuit is coming at a bad time. It acts to reinforce perceptions that are already out there. I can't tell you the number of people. If I had a dime for everybody who said to me when I talk RVs with them, oh, they're all crap. Well, I don't believe that. And that's why I exist as a concierge, because I know there are better quality companies that I can work with people to guide them into and to recommend and then negotiate for them and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, or as they said on Seinfeld, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, they, people have that perception, and things like this lawsuit don't help. They don't help to break the perception that they're buying something which is made very, very poorly. I was talking to one fellow last night here in the RV park about that, about some of the issues he's had. And again, that's why my concierge RV service exists. And again, you can reach me. Just give me a call at 307-269-2546. I'm normally in Mountain Time, so you can reach me here and we can talk. It doesn't cost anything to talk. So, why do I say a knockout punch? Well, again, it's the perception. How much more can the consumer take, especially for something that's a part-time purchase? They buy it and then it spends the next 4 months in the service shop with the dealer, and that's just not acceptable. And now there are more and more people moving into RVs. As rents become more and more prohibitive and apartments are tough to get a decent rent in, there are people moving into RV parks all over the country. And that puts stress on a camper, and most campers are not built for it. I happen to be in one now for 7.5 years, a outdoors RV Glacier Peak fifth wheel. It's holding up pretty well, but most don't. And again, that's what I try to guide people to. With more people moving into these things full time, that's going to create just more and more problems in the RV industry, where they're going to be looking at, why isn't this thing holding up? So allow me to ask this, and if you can answer any of these questions, I'd love to hear from you in the space below. If you're seeing this on a video, there's obviously space under the video to comment. If you're seeing it on my website, if you scroll down to the bottom, there is a comments section. Let me hear from you. I'd like to know do you think that this lawsuit, and again, you can get a link to it, get the name of the law firm and all that over on my website. Um, you'll find that I do answer all comments. I'd like to know, will this leave a lasting stain on the industry? Will it negatively impact potential future buyers? Are some buyers going to say, I just don't even want to buy the aggravation? Will the lawsuit spread to more manufacturers? Right now, it's just Grand Design and their parent company, Winnebago, but is this going to spread to more manufacturers in the RV industry? I'll leave it open-ended. Have you experienced any frame failure or any other, let's call it massive RV problem that threatens the viability of your camper, threatens whether it can be further used and driven? Where do you stand on that? So please let me hear from you. I promise I will get back to every single person who takes the time to comment, and let's start a dialogue. Alan, rvacrossamerica.net /Grand Design, and thank you.